minutes. I don't know what I'm doing exactly. All right. Well, we're already live. It's already there. Hold on. Oh. All right. Hey, everybody. This is the Other Morning Show. I'm TruePowerIsMine. I'm Dimebag on the phone. Still in studio. Not quite. We was supposed to have Morris Griffin on today. Big Money Griff. Due to unforeseen events, he cannot join us this morning. Our thoughts and prayers be with him. Hopefully everything's safe and everything's good with him. But he did have an excellent video, guys. It was called Zimmerman Self-Inflicted Gunshot Wounds. Let me just jump up here to YouTube real quick, and we'll just type that in. Zimmerman Self-Inflicted Gun Wound. And there it is. It's only 6 minutes long, Really informative video.
What is it?
It's about, hold on, man. Let this play for a second. I need to grab me a cup of coffee real quick. Hold on. It's only 8 minutes, or a few minutes.
Activist, leader, and problem solver.
Hold on, let me
First
restart.
and foremost, Hello, I'm Morris Griffin, better known as Big Money Griff, community activist, leader, and problem solver. And first and foremost, I'd like to thank the late, great Johnny Cochran, who's been very instrumental in my life when it comes to evaluating evidence. And those of you who participated in helping me with this fact-finding evidence. We, the people of California, asked Attorney General Eric Holder to consider prosecutorial misconduct charges against the Stanford, Florida prosecutors. We believe that George Zimmerman inflicted his injuries on his head with his own gun. And so we're here today to reveal to you how he could have done that, according to the evidence by Sarah Mara and according to the actual injuries. These lacerations that was on the back of George Zimmerman's head really reflect what we see when it comes to the pin and the notch.
Hey, can you hear that?
Yeah.
George Zimmerman's gun. We can clearly see that the notch matches this injury and the pin matches this injury. Clearly, that fits just like a puzzle. And so we're saying that when we look at the U on George Zimmerman's head, we can honestly and truthfully say, isn't it ironic that when we look at the shape of the gun in the back part, it actually matches this U here. Why do I say that? Because if George was to hit himself, boom, like that, isn't it ironic that that U also lines up with the notch? Can you see that? This is why we are in an uproar, nationally speaking, with Reverend Al Sharpton and other groups and organizations throughout the United States. Because if it doesn't fit, then you must acquit. And this is where it shows that the evidence fits the crime that we're alleging that George Zimmerman actually assaulted himself when it comes to this manner. And so it goes with me saying that we're asking the DOJ, the Department of Justice, to actually look at the facts pertaining to the evidence. When we look at George Zimmerman's testimony, when George said that Trayvon was on top of him. And I will demonstrate for you what George said. George said that Trayvon was on top of him in this manner, and that Trayvon said, boom, 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 boom. And then George said that Trayvon put his hands over his mouth. And you know, and I know, with all that blood, how come there was no blood on Trayvon's hands? Now, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out that you cannot get rid of the DNA. According to the forensic pathologist, there was no DNA on Trayvon's hands. But the testimony that George gave was that Trayvon put his hands over George's mouth. Now, I don't know about you, but DOJ, Department of Justice, according to George said that he was standing away from Trayvon and that Trayvon approached him and hit him. After he hit him, the blood should have came then. A fight occurred. He says that Trayvon ended up on top of him and proceeded to slam his head up against the cement sidewalk to the point that he was almost losing his conscience. After he shot Trayvon, he gets up, according to Sarah Mora. She says that she sees George walking back and forth, hitting himself on the back of his head, walking back and forth. Now, that's the testimony that she gave.
Regresó mientras hacía este recorrido, tocaba su cabeza
And
con la mano.
he walked towards the receptacles, then he walked back, and while he was doing this pacing, he would put his hands up on his head.
Una
Once.
mano, la
One
otra
hand.
tenía en su cadera, ¿no?
And he had the other hand on his waist.
All right. Can you stand up for us and just place your hands how the man had his hands when he was walking around?
¿Tú puedes, por favor, entonces, ponerte de pie y poner las manos en la posición en que la tenía el hombre según iba caminando? Like this.
All right. Just for the record, her right hand was on her head and her left hand was on her left hip.
In addition to that, George goes to work the very next day. And he refuses medical assistance. Now, if that is in fact true, and it is, how do you justify that? So we're asking the DOJ to bring charges against the Florida prosecutors for prosecutorial misconduct, for not bringing this information out in the closing arguments. We feel that the Florida prosecutors were grossly negligent in every way, shape, form, and fashion.
All right. You know, Dimebag, what do you think about that?
Yeah. I'm trying to. It's always some crazy shit with George Zimmerman, man.
I mean, but you know, you gotta understand, you know, that the whole thing was played up. You know, Anderson Cooper. Trayvon was a little thug, you know, and all this, and
Yeah, the guy that he smoked weed.
yeah, and you know, it was
You know how weed be making motherfuckers go crazy.
well, you know, my thing is this here:
That's what they say.
what is done in the dark shall come out in the light. Eventually, it has to, you know, and the statute of limitations straight up never runs out. So, you know, in a way, old boy kind of has to look with his, you know, like over his shoulder constantly, I would imagine. I don't know, you know, how he's living nowadays. But the sad thing is this this young boy, because I'm not calling him boy in a bad way at all. He wasn't a full-grown man. He was a little dude, and he's in the ground right now. Been in the ground for quite a while, and up top ain't nothing really changed. People are still getting screwed over. We're about ready to head to a government shutdown once again. About ready to get a state of emergency. And then people are going to get a taste of what real tyranny's like. But, on a brighter note, Bozon claims that people are going to try to blackmail him over, I guess, some pictures. I guess that's why he got divorced, actually. He chose to go outside and, fornicate. And hey, is the sound quality? I don't know if the sound quality's right in the room.
I can hear you good on my side.
All right, but I'm unsure about the chat room or the actual video. But what I'm saying is that once again, everything that happens in the dark comes out in the light. No matter how rich or poor or stupid or smart you may think you are, you just can't get around this universal fact. And there's a universal fact I really want to talk about today. And that's the fact that if we think for 1 second the economic situation in this nation cannot change, in other words, our economic system cannot collapse for whatever reasons, we are sadly mistaken. Our economic, foundation is really based upon you. It's based upon you believing when you pull out these dollars in your pocket, when you just take this paper and you put a face of a guy and a bird and a couple of Illuminati Masonic symbols on this thing, you actually think that that's what gets people motivated to do work. That's what gets men and women to get out of bed and go about their lives. You're sadly mistaken. The same thing that we have always been played on. It's been our sensibilities and our lack of really understanding how the true world works. If you think for 1 second this nation could handle a civic unrest and the rest of the world are going to be like, hands off, no. Everybody will be coming to get a little piece of the pie. Everybody. And they might not come.
Can you listen to the other morning show?
Yeah, this is the other morning show for sure. On the other side of the coin is that same faith that you have in dollars, you have in bullets, you have in the Bible, the Quran, the Holy Vedas, the Buddhist scriptures or science books or whatever it may be. If you could take that faith for 1 damn second and rechannel it to the United States Constitution, we would all be better off for it.
Right.
Seeing how we're unwilling to do this, or we're unable to do this. I'm letting you know, guys, if we do not voice our opinion to our elected state representatives and our elected state senators to the U.S. Congress and Senate, write them email. No, scratch writing. Writing's done. That was 2 days ago. Now you have to email these guys. Get on the government websites. If there's chat boards there, start saying, Congress, make a deal with the president. Give him the money for the wall. We understand that there's various people who have whatever opinion about the wall. That's not the issues, guys. Don't get sidetracked with that carrot. The issue is whether the president will actually declare a state of emergency or not. That's the only issue that matters. If we have an option to avoid him doing that maneuver.
Because the first time they shut down the government, Pelosi, leader of the House of Representatives, she knew her advisors told her that, hey, it's cheaper to give Trump the money for the wall than it is to shut down the government. So they already knew this stuff going into the first shutdown before the government even got shut down in the first place. They already knew economic advisors informed leadership in the House of Representatives what was the situation and what would be the outcome economically. So they already knew this going in, and they still allowed this stuff to go on.
Well,
And
that's because the fix is already in. The fix is already fucking in. The Democrats are playing we're here for the immigrants and the poor and the women. And the Republicans are playing, we're here for God and fucking defense of this great nation. And we're not going to become a socialist shitbag fucking nation. And that's where we're at. And while everyone's looking at that fucking bread and circus routine, the real hammer's going to come down. The hammer I've been telling you, been preaching for the past 2 years. What does Donald J. Trump really, truly have experience in? And that is shutting down corporations, going bankrupt. And the United States of America, at the end of the day, is a corporate entity, which has life and death powers. All right?
When you start peeling back the layers on this stuff, it's like the only thing that really got affected during the whole government shutdown was the bottom workers. They didn't get paid all what they should have got paid, and the government still functioned. The people that needed to stay at work, they went to work, whether they got paid or not. And then I've seen reports and stuff to where everybody didn't get all their back pay.
Well, no, the contract, okay, the way that worked, if you was an actual U.S. Or a government worker, that's cool. But sometimes you can be a civilian or a non-government employee, but still be reaping the benefits. Like you're still on the job, you'll still get the same pay, you're still, in some cases, get the same opportunities to healthcare and whatnot.
If you was a subcontractor with the United States government during the shutdown, you didn't get no back. You didn't get any of that money you lost on whatever contracts you had with the government. You lost that money.
Now, hold on 1 second. In honor of Black History.
Contracts, but the time that your workers was on.
Well, yeah.
And they didn't pay them people's back wage. Even though they're considered federal workers, but they're subcontracted, they didn't get back pay and stuff. They just lost money.
Well, listen, man, that's how you treat peasants. But in honor of Black History, though, I want to take one moment out of the conversation, then we're going to go right back to where we left off to recognize Major Robert Henry Lawrence Jr., the first Black astronaut of these United States of America. He was born in 1935. He died in 1967 in a horrible accident. He was a major, United States Air Force. And I believe he was also an Omega member. And I'm not for sure about his Mason status. But still, all that, aside, I think we can take today to remember such a great person. Now, back to the peasants not getting paid for work. That's the American way, bruh. What are you talking about? That's how this nation got built, on the backs of people not getting paid. Are you crazy? This is what we do.
And that's why everybody got all the social benefits and stuff in January. So when March roll around again, they probably have some process where you got to renew for all this stuff, so they can just go in there and just cut that stuff right on out without having to pass no legislation. So that means Republicans don't get blamed for it, Democrats don't get blamed for it, the 1% get more money.
Yeah, but the thing about it, the poor and us, we get hammered.
They're going to say, in January, we gave you these benefits.
Yes. Hold on. This is the kicker. This is what I'm talking about.
How did you survive? And they're going to use use that against a whole lot of people and gut them benefit without no legislation and get that money to the rich people. That's what they're going to do. That's what they put in place.
We did this. We had this talk before the show. All right, the way the gag is going to run down. This is just a synopsis. I'm not saying it's written in stone like the first set of 10 Commandments, which actually crumbled. So we had the second set. But anyhow, the poor people got their money in January. If they wasn't frugal or fiscally sound, responsible folks, in all likelihood, they probably traded shit off for money or already spent it all up. Didn't like buy peanut butter and rice and beans in bulk, big ass bags to where they can cook that shit throughout the month. Then what's going to happen is if we get another shutdown, now the rest of this month, there will be no pay. And then potentially starting not next month, but I believe in April, then other checks won't be coming out or down the line, okay? So by June, the American people will be stressed out. Hell, they might even implement the conscription act, a portion of the executive order. What's that? 13,300 and hold on. I don't want to mess this up because this is live and I'm being recorded. Executive Order 13,603, signed by our dear President Barack Obama, ex-president. All right, he opened up the door to total domination for the next guy. Now you heard conservatives.
Like Obama accomplishment.
Well, you heard conservatives last year, when Obama was in office, always talking about, oh my God, fucking Obama, he's going to become a dictator. And this they were always busting that out, but not one of them has spoken about it being in effect since Trump's been in office. And that's the whole problem. That's the whole fucking problem. We got to get to the point to where we understand.
But what you got to understand, think about it. You think about all this stuff going on. Why do you think they didn't mess with Social Security?
Oh, because there's money in it for now. Listen, Social Security and all those pension plans like that are a little bit different. But the funding I'm talking about is the funding that they get. The reason why the budget bill is so important, they got to come up with a number to tell the Federal Reserve how much notes to fucking print that we're going to charge interest on.
Why do you think
that's all that is.
He's doing all the government shutdown and all this other stuff. That other social. Why do you think they don't mess with Social Security? One of the main factors why they don't mess with Social Security.
Well, there's a couple of factors. One, there's laws protecting that account, and they can still access it, but they have to do it in a certain way. It's not like they just have a fucking checkbook there in the office and they just gonna write up checks on that motherfucker. They can't just draw it out like that.
Mess with that if they really want to. One of the main reasons why these politicians don't really fuck with Social Security benefits during these shutdowns and stuff is because they receive the same benefits too. So if they cut, they take money out of their own pockets. That's why they don't fuck with them. The majority of the motherfuckers in the House of Representatives in the United States Senate, them motherfuckers get Social Security, even with their salaries. The same medical benefits, all that shit. The checks in the mail, they get all of that.
Well,
they get all of that shit. That's why they don't fuck with that shit. They'll fuck with your money, but they ain't gonna let nobody else. They ain't gonna fuck with their money. They'll make you pay and starve, but they're gonna still get their shit, and that's why they don't. That's one of the reasons why they don't fuck with it.
Well, I just want to shout out to Big Pimpin' and Cobra Immortal in the chat room there, brothers. Listen, guys, if we let's talk about solution for a second. What could possibly be a solution to our economic ills across all social spectrums, present economic class, sexual orientation, religious fucking models. What could we do to radically change this whole situation? Anyone have any suggestions?
It's going to take motherfuckers to actually realize that there has been a lot of wrongs, and if you ain't willing to right those wrongs, regardless of how it may hurt your personal fucking feelings, then
okay,
no. Then you're going to have to take that shit to the streets.
All right, well, here's a solution I came up with. The government actually prints the money now. People are, because you're a U.S. citizen, all right, it's more of a commonwealth concept, not socialistic at all. The government understands that as people die, then those counts expire. All right. What values the money that this government would print will be the same thing that values the money the Federal Reserve prints right now. Your faith in it as a U.S. citizen or as a global citizen, whatever. The way it ultimately works, the way you can always fight off inflation and deflation is that whenever a being is born, okay, and
right.
Well, no, it's not right like that, but you'll see. Whenever a being's born, they're, instead of issued a birth certificate, they're basically issued a account that the government, and what I mean by the government, strictly the federal government, will actually put credits onto. There will be no more cash. There's going to be no more knocking people over the head and stealing their shit. All right. Now, this being will then therefore be implanted with a REDF chip, just so that we can, monitor their well-being, ensure that there are, no more kidnappings, no more organ harvesting. Okay. Now, as the being grows up, and they still can live with its, biological parents, on a scientific level, which they will also be chipped, by the way. If this being starts to exhibit, antisocial behaviors, we can immediately take them off the streets. All right. But then you ask me, well, where's the economics to all this? The economics to all this is that there would be set government and once again, this gives the people who like to regulate shit a job. You constantly have to calculate how much resources the nation is utilizing to procure other resources from around the planet, because this have to be just an internal system for just the people in the territory of the nation we're speaking of, in this case, the United States, to operate in. So if you decide to go overseas, no, hold on, because for one, the whole world's not going to go along with it. And this will bring forth the next real war to conquer each little state, so that they will ultimately have to be absorbed into it. Because the problem is, how would you transfer our so-called credits into a fucking gold bar if you went to Dubai? How would you actually get a pizza pie if you decide to go to Italy? For that matter, how would you get your damn bullets if you happen to be in Kenya on a safari? All right, so there's a lot of issues like that if you don't pre-think them out, then of course your theory's going to fail. And thank God I already thought out all that shit. And basically what's going to happen is, as we realize, it's not about so much our national boundaries, and by then hopefully the wall will be built or whatnot, so that give people peace of mind. But it's about how secure are the shipping lanes, how productive are those offshore plantations. Let's just call them that, because that's what they are. When we say they're shithole countries, yeah, they're shitholes from our point of view, no fucking doubt. But from the point of view of people living in the shithole, it's just a modern plantation. They don't have shackles. No, they have AKs and AR-15s. Just blow your fucking brains out if you don't play ball. That's all that is. So once we realize, then we have to really, our next manifest destiny will be actually the liberation of the world, which a lot of people won't really see as liberation, but I guess in the long haul, that's what it basically will be. The way this thing's going to come about and this was pointed out in one of our last shows, there will be a religious aspect to it, but it will be more importantly the financial aspect to it. Because think about it, if everyone gets universal base income, then the first thing that should pop in a rational person's mind, well, then I ain't getting out of bed and going to work. What the fuck? Fuck that. No, it doesn't work quite like that. Then you say that, and the rational person, oh shit, here we go with socialism. No, it'd be different. They would probably go ahead and ascribe to wherever you're at in life right now. In other words, if you're flat fucking busted, you're down on Skid Row, you'll get the base standard of income, which all the prices will be based upon. But if you say that you're working at a Ford plant or you're working on a, some sort of shipping yard, you will already get all the so-called money you have now and equity and all the property you legitimately own on paper would be transferred into credit, so you'll have that boost. Now you can continue to work, and the corporations who own certain companies, yeah, they'll have tremendous amount of credits compared to everyone else. But because of the controls on how one can spend those credits, as far as you just can't go and just buy up all this shit and hoard it. No. Because it will all be tracked. And to satisfy the transhumanists, it'll all be tracked by what?
A chip.
Well, yeah, the chat, yeah, that would be true. But the AI, the DeepMind completed program that will be governing, doing the menial things that a lot of sector, but it will offer people. It will relieve the stress of day-to-day life that a lot of people are suffering from. So in one aspect, it would be extremely positive for society. But in a spiritual aspect, a lot of Christians will have a sincere and profound disdain for the situation. And many will not, partake in the chip, which will be problematic. Extremely. Thank you, CJ.
All they're not going to never.
What, free the slaves?
This whole universal basic income thing is on paper it should be a good thing, but it's actually the way it's going to be implemented. It's not going to be a good thing.
Well,
it's not, because they're going to get, if you get a universal basic income the way everything is set up now on the path it's going down, you're still going to have to be able to do something. And they're going to automate so much stuff because they're going to have to pay this money out. So they're going to use as many machines and robots, and the government's going to let them because they own the government, and they don't allow the public to use the technology that we have to make automation benefit. All of us is only going to benefit the few on the backs of the many.
Listen.
So
you're absolutely right. Automation is coming.
It would not be peaches and cream under this system we're currently in a universal basic income. You're still going to, at the end,
but see, that's the whole fallacy. But that's the whole fallacy of any change. Whoever said it was going to be peaches and cream? I certainly didn't. And no one else has. There's never been peaches and cream.
I'm just saying so people don't get the perception that it would be.
I tell you what, the perception that one would really get is the fact that it will actually benefit on a physical note. A lot of people, a lot more resources will be distributed just simply based of the efficiency of the AI doing the allocation of resources. But spiritually speaking, it's going to be quite detrimental. Now, right now, you can laugh that one off. Oh, spiritual. He said spiritual. Let's laugh it off. But when it comes to fruition, it's not going to be that funny. Because I'm telling you, kids are still going to get raped underneath that new system that will be rolling out. I'm telling you, people will still be getting murdered under that new system that's rolling out. They're not going to understand how to solve crimes any better.
That's always going. That's
All right.
always going to go down.
But this is why. But I do want to clarify that. I do want to clarify that. The only ones that will be happening to would be people who don't have the chip. Okay. So before you start thinking it's going to be affected, no, it's only. So who am I ultimately saying? I'm ultimately saying if you do not elect to take the chip, then you're ultimately electing to go ahead and be brutally victimized by rape, murders, because there won't be no way to track it any other way. People are going to lose the detective skills that we once had. Just like we lost our hunting skills, just like we lost our primitive building skills, and then just like we lost apparently our advanced pyramid building skills. That's what's coming our way, guys. Now we can realize this fact and prepare accordingly, or we can continue on our buffoonish ass side missions, forgetting the main objective of this game. Keep on doing these mini bosses instead of fighting the real main boss and completing this fucking level and going to the next fucking stage of the game. Because there is no reset, guys. There really is none other than death. And that's a cold, hard reality.
I always look at it like this. If you ain't got nothing you're willing to die for, then why are you even living?
Well, what are you willing to die for?
Me to live and prosper and to be left the fuck alone.
Now, are you living and prospering and being left the fuck alone?
No, that's why I'm taking the stand. That's why I'm like, fuck these motherfuckers. Because I'm not. And I know what the fuck's going on. And I wish more people realize what the fuck's going on.
Well, we have to adequately identify the issue. We got to adequately.
It's like people scared to go kick some ass.
No, okay. Let's really break that down. It's not a fact that people are scared of beating up somebody. It's the fact that people are understanding that assault sends you to jail.
Let's go. I'm not. There's all kinds of ways you can go kick some ass and things you can do to kick some ass. I'm not implementing. I'm not saying violence shouldn't be an option, but I'm saying there's other options too. I'm not taking violence off the table though.
No, but I'm saying the reason why you don't see people acting violently, for the most part.
No, I don't recommend on behalf of nobody acting violent, but I'm just saying I wouldn't take that off. I wouldn't take that out of one of the options.
Well, I most certainly would.
In all kind of ways. I'm not saying you don't typically be violent. There's all kind of ways.
Because in this game here, what I'm talking about, the issue that I'm talking about is the social degradation of our nation. The issue that I'm talking about is the collective sense of doom and despair. Now, you can talk to anybody out here on the streets, and they all are feeling it.
Everybody don't get what's going on. Everybody, and there's some people that know what's going on, but they're getting paid. And so they look at it like, shit, I'm all in because these motherfuckers on this side already know who the fuck I am. And if I can't work for them, I'm already outcast with this group. They ain't got nothing to lose. So you can't, it ain't gonna be no correct because there's a lot of motherfuckers out there that is really against people living better lives. That's just the fact. And they're getting paid to keep you there. So they ain't gonna never be on board. They just gonna sabotage shit.
Well,
that's why it's very important you point these motherfuckers out and you hold them accountable. You shame their ass and shun them.
Well, unfortunately, maybe in the 50s, the shame game would work, but we're way past shame. I mean, you literally have guys now running around here with semen dripping off their chin, and chicks, with inflatable dildos 6 feet long, running around doing their thing. So there is no more shame as far as even criminal avenues. Look how many.
If you're not harming anybody else, that shit doesn't matter to me. It's bigger, problems out here than that shit. That's not even, as long as it's not harming nobody, now if you harming somebody, then that's different. But it's bigger fish to fry than that bullshit right there. People gotta understand, man, this shit's about survival, because if you don't get that chip, you ain't getting shit and coming. That's why I'm trying to, getting up there. I don't see the beginning of this shit, but I don't know.
Well, I guess the thing is this here. Once you realize that getting the chip or not getting the chip is basically the only freedom of will you have, or the only thing that you can actually choose on. The deal is you got to see that we have to look at on the higher note. Like I said the other day on the show, man, what good is known about the Illuminati? What good is it known about all these different conspiracies if you don't know the truth? Hey, money or honey, what's up? Welcome to the show. I'm hold on 1 second. I want to open up the call-in line. The call-in line is 636-209-5044. You can call any questions, ask anything you like. The thing is, guys and gals, a lot of people don't understand DARPA. And in fact, a lot of people don't even know who's the head of DARPA right now. You guys never heard of Dr. Steve. Oh my God. I should just pull it up. I forgot his last name. I was talking to this cat about him the other day. But, guy was a brilliant guy, multiple degrees, sociology, psychology, all this different stuff. You think that they're working on building a better popcorn popper? You think they're working on building a better, I don't know, snow cone machine? No. They're working on things to ensure that no threats can befall the Republic. Actually, some very good fucking work. And a lot of people try to skew DARPA and all this and that. And I get why. Because in every organization, you always have some assholes in there that fucks up and tarnish the whole reputation of the organization. All right? I'm not speaking to them right now. I can at another day. But I'm talking about the true members of DARPA, the true members of that organization that understands what they're doing impacts not only their life, but my life and every other citizen in this nation. Now, the reason why I always say, if you want to do a violent type overthrow scenario reminiscent of some sort of crazy TV show, it's going to end very horribly and very painful for you. It's because your ignorance to reality does not negate the realness of certain weapons and weapon systems that are readily available and been available for many, many years. We need a change of heart and a change of freaking mind. We need to change the way we perceive what's going on. Because as long as we stay in the paradigm, as long as I can get this and do this and I put them together, then we're going to continue to make these same old stupid ass mistakes. You can blame the schools, you can blame the parents, you can blame lack of motivation, lack of intelligence. You can blame until the horses come home. But that's not going to change. You got to understand there's a difference between having a solution and then just pitching a gripe. And we have to get on the solution tip. Because the gripes, honestly, guys, it's been played out. People are tired of hearing it. Even some of the best gripers in the world are tired of griping. And all that's going to be rectified really soon if we do not act right now. If you do not contact your representatives and senators, tell them, go ahead and concede, fund the wall. Fund it now. So that we can ensure that on the 15th of February, just 7 days from now, very powerful number, 7, remember? Number of God. But if we don't do that, if we elect not to, then that is your right. That's your free will right there. I'm just giving you the consequences of that action, or rather, inaction. It is totally.
No, it's not an inaction. They're doing what they're told to do. They're not. It's not that they're not acting on anything. They're doing what the plan tells them to do. That's what people got to understand. The people in Washington D.C. don't give a fuck about the people that we talking to right now.
Right.
So
well, Big Pimp.
Well, check this out. Looking at the machine, and they ain't gonna call you back because you don't put money in their pocket.
No,
period.
But Big Pimpin' wrote something in the chat room. It's truly not about a wall. And you know what, Big Pimpin'? You're absolutely right on with the talking points of the world. You're right. But what we're talking about here is if you do not fund the wall, the president has already said if he does not get funding for the wall, then he's going to declare a state of emergency. You see what I'm saying? So let's not focus on the wall. The wall itself is neither here nor there. So what? We build his damn wall, and his buddy up there in Canada gets the money from the steel. Okay, that's the hit or miss from that one. But if we don't fund the wall and he declares a state of emergency, already knowing all the executive orders that not only Obama signed, President Bush signed, President Clinton signed, President Bush the first signed, President Reagan started. If we don't understand that, then you know what? We deserve the enslavement that's coming our way. We deserve for your young sons, when that, and daughters nowadays, don't forget, they can pull that gag as well, comes knocking on your door, boom, boom, boom. We know that you have young ones here. They have to report to training. What? Come on, kids, come with. No, you got to hear crying and mashings of the teeth, and they will take the kids because conscription is allowed. Do you guys not understand? The only thing keeping you safe in your damn homes right now are people understanding they don't have the authority to run up there and do whatever they want. But whenever they're given that authority, they have the motivation and the heart to do that.
Hold on, I want to play something. Hold on, I want to play something. I'm trying to find.
The play was started 30 years ago, so it's time to enslave the masses. Yes, it is. It is time to enslave the masses, guys.
Shit, they already did. We already been enslaved.
You know, so Big Pimp is right on point. But I just wanted to clear that for you, Big Pimp, so that you see that I get it and I understand where you're coming from. Everyone is focused on the wall. Listen, I get what you're saying. The wall is just that. I get it. Hey, Pezzy, isn't the masses already? Yes, yeah. Listen, psychologically speaking, guys, we are to some degree, and this is where your free will and your spirit comes into play, enslaved. But you're not enslaved to the respect that a person can run into your house who's a government official and take your children for conscription purposes. And let me clarify what that means. That means take them and put them into force work, whether it be the army, enslave, and that could happen to a regular citizen as well. The internet would be all cut down. All this could be potentially gone. So there ain't no more talking amongst us. So whatever type of little plan you already have set up and should have been preparing for the past 2 years should be ready to go in the next 7 days, potentially. Now, what you about ready to play, Dimebag?
What'd you say?
I thought you said that you was getting something to play. I thought you was good.
I'm working on it. Keep on. I'm working on it.
All right. Well, he has some sort of side note there. But the thing I want to get expressly clear, all right, is the fact that you have to be spiritually right. If you're not spiritually right, if you don't focus on God or whatever you think you need to, you're going to find the next few months extremely trying. Unless you're already in the in crowd. People are so brainwashed, they'll go for anything these days. Sad but true. Oh, okay, honey, Pence, let me ask you 2 questions in the chat room real quick. If the government shuts down on the February 15th. And on February 16th, some government official comes out saying, okay, look, everybody in America, you have to take the RFD chip, report to your local armory in your town or in your state or county, because every county and state has a local armory, and get injected. Would you two get injected with the chip, with the RFD chip that have all your information on it? Yes, no, anything? And I know people are typing, so it might take a minute. The thing is, no. I got two no's. Biggs, no. Honey, no. And Pins, I would assume, would probably be no as well. Yes. Now,
What'd you
guys,
say?
I was talking to the chat room. Are you got your stuff ready to key up?
Yeah, hold on.
Okay, guys. Now, let me tell you. By your answers right there, you three brave human souls, dare I say, those answers are quite telling on a lot of reasons. All right. It tells me that you're probably aware of the mark of the beast. You're probably aware of how that plays and all that. They would have to catch me. No, now if they catch you and insert it, totally different animal. I'm talking about if you willingly accept it. Now listen. Now, let this be clear. I don't know if you guys, if you have heard the show I did with Forerunner 777. If you go to jail, let's say they round you up, they do catch you, Pins, and they inject you with it. All right, that's against your will. And even underneath the stringent doctrine Christian out there, that is not you accepting the mark of the beast. That's just you just being tagged. And when you die, you'll just be bagged. Versus you're running up there, give me the fucking chip. Give me that chip. I need my food stamps. I need my medical. I need my whatever. There's the difference, because your hearts willingly want to go along with the program. Versus, oh shit, hold on. Fuck. Hold on. We gotta. When I went to set my bottle down, the phone disconnected. Where is RBG?
Yeah.
Whatever you say. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
honey, true. Oh, I was just talking to, man, I set my water down, hit the thing. Hey, what's up, Turtle? Hey, check this out, honey. Let me speak on that real quick. You're absolutely right. And it started with, what's up, Kenneth? It started with the Social Security number way back in the day. They first gave the people a Social Security number. Remember? It used to say, hey, this is not supposed to be used for identification purpose. Then that damn thing creaked to where you had to get a job using it. And then it kind of molded into the little, the first little credit cards. And then that's when they put that chip in it. But you're absolutely right. We have already been programmed. This is what we were talking about earlier about people are already enslaved. You know what I'm saying? And this is why we have to accept it or not. But please, let's spare ourselves the ignorance. All right. I want to pull up Mark of the Beast for the TV watchers. Mark of the Beast. All right. So that people, okay, here we go. That is so perfect, right? Thank you, Google algorithm. I was just that little deal on that person's fingernail or finger print, underside of the finger. Hold on, I gotta get a drink of water.
Yeah, I need to drink the water.
Yeah, I'm trying to curb my drinking. I've been 3 days clean and sober. So haven't drunk for 3 days. So I'm trying to just do a different little style this year. Don't gotta lay up and stay drunk all the time. Anyhow, the thing about it is, a lot of people are confusing the mark with the beast with just like if you went to the military and they force you to take it. Because don't forget, when you go down to the military, the MEP station in your region, and you hold up that hand and you take you get sworn in and you sign the papers, you become property of the United States government. Okay, so
yes,
let's not get that. that twisted. So therefore, morally and spiritually, any chipping, like, because I know some special forces folks that had the chip implanted in them for obvious reasons. Okay, so that's not in prisoners, exactly, in prisoners. That's pertains and some prisoners, unfortunately, and the media does not talk about this, have been chipped already. So, my gosh, man, just wait until these fools realize, yeah, we can chip anybody, and fuck, we don't even need bars on the window. They go running anywhere, we just shoot them on sight. Billy Bob, what do you think about that?
All they have to do is just push a button, and that all that chip is just a kill switch.
Think about that. Could you picture that? Barless prisons. They'll just put the chip in you with a little cyanide compartment, and if you get out of line, they hit that cyanide release, and it enters your bloodstream, and you just drop out right there. Dude, that would save us so much money on bars, and we can use that metal for the wall. Oh, wow. This is effed up.
The only thing I'm disappointed with about the whole wall thing is that they can't turn it into some kind of like tourist attraction.
As a girl, you're absolutely right. No, I mean, a lot of people are commenting.
Things and stuff. You know how you can walk across the Great Wall of China? Why can't you walk around the Great Wall of the United States? See all the beautiful scenery.
Because, man, it really bastardized and insults all the good portions to this nation and all the people who died and sacrificed for this great nation. It truly bastardizes the whole concept of freedom, because to build a wall to keep the next guy out, by default, you're keeping me in, which takes away from my freedom and my ability to walk and do what I need to do. But that's irrelevant at this point in time. I mean, that's cupcake. Now, that's fucking cupcake land. The reality is that this motherfucker here it has to be. Unfortunately, yes, you're absolutely right. Hold on. I want to talk about that Mark of the Beast thing. Ozzy girl, you're absolutely right. It does require you to worship. But unfortunately, a lot of people already crossed that bridge already. Look how many people worship signs. Look how many people worship entertainers. Look how many people worship movies. Look how many people worship so many things. They worship. You know what I mean?
How do you worship science?
It's complicated. But the point is, we keep on moving down this path that you gotta understand. If we don't focus on the real entity out there, if we don't focus on having peace in ourselves first and having love in our hearts and good thoughts in our mind, then you know what? On a natural law level, we deserve to be destroyed, because at that point, then all you really are is just a useless eater. And you guys better Google that term. Google useless eater, because that's what this thing's really about. It's not about how you feel. It's not about how you want to be treated. It's about how the people who have power view you on this planet. And that's because of your mind, you see. You have allowed these people to have that type of power over you. You have allowed these people to skew our very government. I mean, come on now. You gotta sit here and say, Dimebag, you don't know about fucking what the hell? What? How did the call drop? Hold on. Call drop. Hello. The call drop. What I was saying is,
I heard, before you ramble on, I didn't hear anything you said.
Hold on, let me check the damn audio. Hold on, mic check. Mic check. Mic check. I don't know. It'll take a minute for the chat room to call me back. Once again, ever since I had an interview with Wayne Madsen, the telecommunication system around this mug has been sketchy at best and basically at worst hackable. We support to we're supposed to trans. You're right. We are supposed to transcend to the damn stars, but we're not. We're not going to transcend nowhere because of the fact that we're still too, I guess, psychologically or emotionally or collectively immature just to get along with each other. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about without the different entities, the police and lawyers and judges and all this crap. You know, we can't even do that. So how the hell are we supposed to go to the stars with the madness that we got going through our brains? It doesn't make any sense.
That shit, you'll never see that shit in our lifetime.
Well, we would hope. I would hope that one day we get, but you're probably right. Unfortunately, the programming is just too damn strong, man. The program really is. I mean, the people who put this thing together, don't forget they had hundreds of years before any of us was even born to set up all these games for us. So, once again, I guess we should just count our lucky stars that we're even in existence right now in the state, whatever state you may find yourself in.
Well, on a lighter note, and you are watching the other morning show live on TruePowerIsMine, and it's live on Random BS YouTube channel, because YouTube hit my channel again, like a couple of my videos got flagged again, so I can't stream on the regular Dimebag TV, but I do got our brother's channel, Random BS, so you can go subscribe to Random BS so you can catch all the live streams, because for some reason you can show a video of a black man getting his ass whooped by a black woman, but if you show a black woman beating their kid's ass, then you can't. And I wasn't bashing black women, I was just reading off statistics and stuff like that. Just about child abuse. But if you want to see Female Predators Part 2, you got to go to the Dimebag TV Facebook page. Facebook didn't take it down, so I guess I'll put the more disturbing ratchet videos on the Facebook Dimebag TV channel. It seems like Facebook allowed you to put more ratchet shit over there. So for all that type of stuff, you can just find that at the on Dimebag TV Facebook page. So if you want to check out Part 2, I don't think it was that bad, but
yeah.
Somebody got their feelings hurt, I guess.
Well, no, people always do that. And yeah, and just for a reminder, please join me live. What's that? 4:00 p.m. Pacific time. Mark from Anaheim will be on. Special report. We'll be talking about Black history. Once again, that will be the topic of the show, Black history. If we could tie anything into it, but don't come off with no crazy. I do have some questions, questions you guys left on the last video. I will answer or ask as many as I possibly can, because one thing you can always say, you're not going to get the exact same show. You know what I mean? We have hours upon hours of different content on various channels and platforms now. We're like a little virus. We're just creeping out, sending out our tentacles everywhere and anywhere. The thing is, though, it's up to you to do with it as you want to. You can reject it. You can accept it. You can research it. But I'm telling you right now, we don't have that much time. We really don't. The plays are in. The players are ready to strike. And at this point in time, like I said, I mean, you can know all the names of all the different players, but it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop what's going to happen unless you do what? Get on. Hold on. I'm going to go to the website. Or no, I'll just go ahead and tell you, because we're about run out here of time, but I'm going to tell you guys, if you do not contact your representatives and senators today and tell them, yes, he'll be on today at 4 p.m. specific California time, Pacific time.
So that would be 6:00 Central Time and 7:00 Eastern Time.
Yeah, but then there's Mountain Time too. 5:00 Mountain Time, I think. Isn't there a Mountain Time for real? There has to be. There has to be a Mountain Time, like a time zone.
It would be 5:00.
Hold on. Now, L Girl has there are pastors who either don't understand the end times or they think it will not. Listen, there's those pastors that you're speaking on right there. Those guys are more devils than pastors. Anybody that is going to talk about the end times in any kind of negative way, I mean, if you're going according to Scripture, you can tell they're off. Because where does the end time knowledge possibly comes from that we should know about? The manuscripts that were written thousands of years ago, the Word of God. So if anybody talks like that's not supposed to happen, if you're really breaking it down, they're really telling you God should be a lie. It shouldn't come to be. And that, my friends, is the worst sin of all. That's why I'm telling you, it's going to happen. There is no, let's hold our hands together and kumbaya this shit out. No. Quite the opposite. It's going to happen because it's been ordained to happen.
If you're a religious person, why don't you just read the text for yourself? Why even rely on those type of people anyway? We all know the majority of them. I'm speaking in general, not in an individual, because we're talking to a broad range of people. But, why are you relying on them? They're only in that shit for the money, man. I'm just being honest. They don't give a fuck about anything. They don't give a fuck about your spiritual, where the fuck you go when you die, or any of it. They don't give a fuck about any of that bullshit. You gotta get that. You gotta put in the work and read that shit yourself, and then you take what you want out of it. Because if you looking for some priest or some pastor or deacon or whatever title they have at your local church or whatever you attend to, or whoever the motherfucker you go seek this stuff from, they ain't gonna tell you the fucking truth, and they ain't gonna tell you what's in those scripts. You're gonna have to read that shit for yourself. Period. At the end of the day, they just want your money. Don't give a fuck about none of that other shit that comes with religion. Period. Thank you, Carlax.
Now, that's those guys. And then there's another side of it, that these cats, they are true. But you ain't going to hear them. You're not going to listen to them. You're not going to, do whatever. You're going to do what you do because, trust me. Yeah, the main thing about spirituality that as any member, whatever, you have yourself. It's just that simple. Now back to the government shutdown shit. Actually.
Okay. Before we go back to the government shutdown, on Super Bowl Sunday, Donald Trump was on Face the Nation that Sunday morning, and they were talking about the normal shit that was going on. And the lady was asking him about the troops taking the troops and stuff out of Syria and Afghanistan. They're about to cut a deal with the Taliban and the Afghani government to, the United States can still get their opioids, they poppy and all that stuff, so they can continue to drug the white community with that shit. But they were talking about that base they built in Iraq.
What's that?
And they built some humongous base, according to Trump word, to where they could hit any hostile spot in the Middle East, Northern Africa that they wanted to. They could hit them. And he brought up Iran. Now, after 9/11, General Wesley Clark said he went and visited some of his buddies at the Pentagon, said they was going to Iraq. He said he went back again. Same dude he talked to said they were going in. He named 7 countries. The United States military has been in all 6 of these countries and pretty much literally destroyed the shit. The only one left is Iran. And then in the State of the Union, he doubled down on it. I hope this audio works, but I'm going to play what he said in that interview on Face Nation that Sunday. It's directly exactly what he said in the State of the Union address that he gave.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Molly Bell's calling. Well, I don't want to have her just pop up on live show shit.
Let's put it on hold.
No, I need to. Hold on. Oh my God. Hold on. Oh damn, I missed it. Oh well. I guess you guys heard everything fall. I'm sure. I love live. Never mind, guys. That was. I have everything like it's like a web or something up in here, and everything's all woven in and shit. Total disaster. Whatever. Well, anyhow, guys, I need to get off here. I'm gonna call Molly Bell back up and see what's going on, and just join me tonight. Special report. Mark from Anaheim Beyond Black History. I'm actually talking to Molly Bell to get her back on to talk about her Black History stuff as well. Her life experience, not just Black History, her personal life experience. As we all know, she's been a tremendous activist. Also, I just want to add this too before we go. Morris Griffin, Big Money Griff, did something that affected each and every one of us listening to the broadcast right now. He actually sued and made case law by ensuring that cops can no longer have those mag lights that held the batteries in it, that they would bash poor blacks, whites in the head. They didn't do that in Beverly Hills now. They didn't do that in Belmont and all the rich areas. But if you're working middle class and poor, you know what the hell I'm talking about with the mag lights. That's why, I am going to have Griffin on. All right. But, hey, Dart, how long is that thing? You got that thing queued up that you want to play? Hello?
I already just lost my talking point, man.
Oh, all right. I thought you said you had something that you was going to queue up and play out before we went out. But,
then you went on, just cut me out and went on this other thing.
Oh, yeah, try and get it with Molly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, this has been the show. I'm TruePowerIsMine.
Y'all know who the fuck I am.
And peace.